You may know, I capped out of my nursing career after I had achieved the position. My goal was to be a flight nurse. All right, and so after that, I took a couple other jobs. I was working in the educational arena, and then my very last time before stepping out into entrepreneurship, I had actually worked in an outpatient clinic. But I took that nosedive, if you will, July 15th, 2014 was my last day as a clinical nurse. All right. And it was actually my last 45 minutes, if you get what I'm saying. I walked in and then I walked out. Anyway, what I'm bringing this little model up here to tell you is to quickly bring in some training that has to do with living in your gift. All right, some people call this purpose driven living, but what it really is that you've been given gifts and talents. And I don't care what your religious affiliation is, I don't care what your current faith status is or not. We all have strengths and we all have gifts. And I truly believe that people who are not only happy but truly successful are the ones who are developing those gifts, leveraging those gifts and their talents, and they're operating in them. And the key as an entrepreneur is to, can you be profitable leveraging those gifts and those talents and those strengths? So flip back for me, like working up the ranks. Before I actually became a flight nurse, there was a prayer that I said all the time. It's called the Prayer of Jabez. And the first two lines of it are, oh, that you would bless me indeed, with an apostrophe, and enlarge my territory. And I'll tell you what happened when I finally, and I said that prayer like literally every single day for, I think like 2 years. To expand my territory, enlarge my territory. And when I had my very first flight mission as a flight nurse, I was sitting up front next to our pilot, Dion Santee. Rock and roll hands, D. But as you know, if you've never been in a helicopter before, the takeoff is a little bit different than a plane. A plane, runs on the runway and then gradually goes up. But the helicopter, like, you come up and then you tip forward and then you leave that way. And what happened was, putting all this together, was as we rose up into the air, we ascended and we nosed down a little bit and started our path off to our destination to go pick up our patient. I saw the tops of trees, and for me, it was one of those times where it really came full force, and I realized that, holy shit, I really have expanded. Like, my territory is expanded because now I don't just operate on the ground, like, I occupy airspace. So that same concept happens within entrepreneurship. That if entrepreneurship is like a second career for you, or it's something that you're doing as like your side hustle or whatever it is, that many times, you may not be experiencing the success that you are out to achieve because you may not be operating at your full potential. Okay. And for me, I left nursing. All right. So at the time we're filming this, I have 21 and a half years as a registered nurse. Love it when your props like work into your thing here. And when I left, I did like one-on-one nutritional consults with the people that I call my patients, but the people that we refer to as clients or customers. And no matter what, it was always so disappointing. And the feedback that I received was, Nick, you operate at this really, really high level all the time. And it's like, you expect us to come in and have certain habits set up all the time. And for me, just as, this average American, like, I don't have those habits already. And I went down and I started making like courses and things for them, but consistently what was happening was that I was becoming noticed by decision makers and coaches. And so what started out as individual, like one person helping another, and I'm a nurse, like I totally believe in helping people on an individual level, has actually changed my whole entire business model, where now I'm brought in by coaches and fire chiefs to actually help them out with business development. right? And so I still use like a health and fitness structure, but all the stuff that we're seeing in this training in terms of helping you become profitable and establishing your business vision, and how do you, look for opportunity, and how do you leverage, resources, and how do you, form business partnerships, and all that stuff comes back to that prayer of Jabez, where now, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, has now completely expanded, in that what I left healthcare for, to help my patients, is now helping the decision makers to help the patients, so my work is through them. So I wanted to bring that up to you, because maybe what you actually need to do is level up a little bit, or a lot, and recognize that your gifts and your talents can be served at a much, much higher level in what you're currently operating in. So keep the faith, stay prayed up, and when you hit a closed door, just consider it, like a redirection, that you're supposed to be moving in a different direction.